The following game has been rated E for everyone by the ESRB, and it has no listed restrictions. That means that the content in the game should be appropriate for anyone aged 6 and up. Furthermore, this game is also listed as Early Access. That means that this game is not yet completed, so what you will see in the following video may not be reflective of the final product. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Hardspace Shipbreaker. So the premise of Hardspace Shipbreaker is that you serve as an orbital salvage engineer, taking apart derelict and no longer serviceable vessels to scrap them for parts, so that way your corporate overlords can make a massive profit off of your labor. Well, technically I guess you would. However, in order to get you up into orbit to do their job for them, your corporate overlords expensed quite a bit of money known as credits to the tune of, I think it starts at 1.25 billion credits. And rather than just eating that cost and affecting their bottom line, because this is a for-profit corporation, it saddled you entirely with the whole of the debt. And if you can't pay it off through your labors, that debt gets paid off by your next of kin, whether or not they actually work for the same corporate overlords. But on the plus side, if you do die, they can basically genetically clone you and stuff all your memories back into your new, probably soon-to-be rotting carcass. But that is also a fee which gets added to the debt. Or at least for now that's the case. I should point out that this game is still flagged as Early Access, and as such is still under active development by the developers. And therefore things can change, things can be updated, things can be swapped around, and as such the contents and actions you see in this video may not fully reflect the final product if and when it does finally get finished. And for those who haven't seen last episode, I managed to get to rank 5, where I unlocked the ability to start processing a new class of ship known as the javelin, which is a little bit more complex than the mackerels that I've used to basically be taking apart. And I haven't actually gotten around to taking a javelin apart since the most recent update. Well, technically 2 updates ago when they reset everything. Last update when they reset everything yet again. Basically, I haven't had a chance to work on a javelin since they came out with all the new shiny stuff. I wonder how they've been changed, and I guess I'll be finding out shortly. And as such, this game is of course made by... Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin.
Hello, Shipbreaker. Overnight genetic backup complete. Pattern deviation nominal. Have a good day.
Alright, should it worry me that pattern deviation is a thing even if it is nominal? I mean, if it nominally deviates between day after day after day, how many weeks until it's no longer nominal? Anyway, so this is the initial startup screen. Good morning, Shipbreaker. Reminder, minimum payments are due by 10 a.m. Solar Standard Time each day. Failure to pay on time is considered a breach of contract. Thank you for your hard work and cooperation. So, that's the initial briefing, and this is the what's known as the HAB, which is our living quarters up in orbit. It contains all the basic necessities that I would need, essentially a bed to sleep in, some posters to change around if I wish to change the decor, an employee terminal for all my employee-related messages, of which there is one unread one, where it talks about pressurization, and this is for clearance level 5, of which I believe I now am. So congratulations, you reached one of the major milestones in shipbreaking career progression, gaining access to the #1 cause of death in shipbreaker professions, pressurization. Some ships you encounter may or may not be pressurized or contain pressurized pockets. Breaching these spaces incorrectly can cause an explosive decompression, which can cause damage to valuable salvage and Lynx equipment. To depressurize properly, Lynx advises the use of standardized atmosphere regulators located throughout a ship. And then the footnotes are, Lynx strictly prohibits shipbreakers intentionally using explosive decompression, so-called controlled decompressions, to enact rapid salvage. Reminder that your activity while in the salvage bay is monitored. And then the other footnote, note that some ships may come with damaged atmosphere regulators, which does not allow for an authorized and safe decompression procedure. So basically that means that ships can now have small pockets of breathable air inside the vessel, which I need to deal with, because if I cut into a pressurized space while working in outer space, that pressurized space quickly becomes unpressurized in a rather explosive manner. And at one time I was working on a gecko, cut into a pressurized area unknowingly. The door I was cutting through blew open, and while the character himself didn't actually take any real or meaningful damage, all the debris hit the reactor, which caused it to explode. That or the external cryo unit, I'm not quite certain, but either way, core melted down, blowing up the back half of the ship. It was an interesting experience. Anyway, I would like to point out that they've flagged pressurized cabins as a greater health risk than radioactive reactor cores. I'm just saying. Also, I can check certifications here, and I'm now a novelist and get access to javelins. Also, the Stinger and Grapple Rangers have been upgraded, and I can get an access to a new scanner mode. I also get access to the ship grade 4 certifications, including the Javelin, Macro Heavy Cargos, and Javelin Tankers. Also, there's a pink bunny here that I found in a prior salvage run. I also get access to a window. Wait, did that thing squeak? Interesting. Anyway, window. Handprint, not mine, was here beforehand. I'm not certain if it's on the inside or the outside. Part of me kind of hopes it was on the inside, because if that handprint's on the outside, that means somebody left a handprint on the outside of the window. You take that as it will. So, and then there's also the equipment room, and I can look at my spacesuit, but not actually do anything. Just more decor posters I can swap back around. And if I look at the workstation, this is where I go to upgrade and repair equipment, as well as put stickers on. And I don't really pay much attention to stickers, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, for equipment, everything's at 100% because I don't think things have started to degrade just yet. But I do get access to... Let's actually get the new scanner mode, just so that way I can see what objects I need to basically not blow up if I want to maximize salvage. And all the upgrades are rank based, so like for instance the handheld grapple, the range 1 upgrade is available now, but I don't have enough Lynx tokens to upgrade it because all of my Lynx tokens were spent on the new scanner mode. Well, not all of them, but more than it's required to purchase this upgrade. The same with the module laser cutter. And I don't get access to demo charges until 11, so moot point. Alright, and so on that note, I go back out. I can start the shift. I mean, I can technically start the shift anywhere in the hab. So, this is the current ship in the bay. I have no ship because they do not carry over from save file to save file. So if the game crashes or you stop playing for the day mid-salvage run, you lose the rest of the ship. And apparently I have training to do, so I don't get to select a new ship.
I remember my first reactor pull. I was shaking like a leaf. You got less on the line now, but still, let's try to do this without a critical meltdown. That looks like the reactor toward the rear of the ship, but there are lots of different configurations out there in the wild. Okay, we're only focused on one thing right now. Pull the reactor and get it on the barge. As soon as you disconnect the reactor from the ship, it'll start to melt down. So act fast and make sure you have an exit strategy ahead of time.
Right, I forgot that in this playthrough I never did the reactor tutorial, so it's doing it now. And one thing that I didn't realize from the last reactor tutorial is that the timer and things like O2 and whatnot aren't actually posted just yet. So, I mean, I'm given a full mackerel to take apart, so I might as well take advantage of that. And as usual, what I normally do is I work outside in and then front back. So the reactor being in the back is probably one of the last things I'm going to salvage. I'm gonna just cut off these chunks right here at the cut points.
Processing valuable object.
I could pull it by this panel, but I believe that actually just pops the panel off from the frame. And it's all going into the processor anyway, if I can, get it oriented correctly. You are going in, right? Yes, you are. Yes, I think you are. I'm not. You're already in, or. Yeah, you look in. Anyway. And just snag this antenna.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
And then we work on cut off these thrusters. If I can get within range of doing so. Alright, and so I'm close to where the reactor is, which is producing small amounts of radiation. Which is why as I get closer, the HUD key starts getting all weird looking. By weird looking, I mean all like shaky and whatnot.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Alright, quick question. None of this is pressurized, so I don't have to worry about an explosive decompression.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, no, apparently this is a graphical error. Since it's training, I don't think it can end the shift. So... things get interesting. I guess I really should have gone after the, reactor core first. Right, and I can't really see right now. Since this is a training thing, I don't know if abandoning the shift will do anything. Alright, so I know the mackerel had a cargo door on top. Flagged red somewhere around in here. There we are. I have no idea what I actually hit, but... Alright, so this is a problem. Let's try reloading and see if this does anything.
Hello Shipbreaker. Please enjoy this inspirational message. The last 10% of a job takes as much energy as the first 90%. So think of what it takes to hit 110% and aim for that.
Yeah, I didn't even save the upgrade. Alright, so let's try this again.
I remember my first reactor pull. I was shaking like a leaf. You got less on the line now, but still, let's try to do this without a critical meltdown.
Or you know the game bugging
reactor
out.
toward the rear of the ship, but there are lots of different configurations out there in the wild. Okay, we're only focused on one thing right now. Pull the reactor and get it on the barge. As soon as you disconnect the reactor from the ship, it'll start to melt down. So act fast and make sure you have an exit strategy ahead of time.
Right, in case in point, different configuration. This mackerel doesn't have as many external,
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
whatever you call these, frame pieces. It's only got 2, whereas the old one had 4, and there's also only 2 nacelles instead of 4, like there was last time, so... I didn't get to keep any of that salvage because the game decided to go, weird on me, but that's what happens. Did I mention this is early access? Still. On the plus side, I get to keep my tethers, so... Back at 10. Well, now 9. Soon to be 8 as I hold this other nacelle down.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Right, and everything is still unpressurized.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Rip this door control off and send it down to the net, or well, the barge as it's officially called, but I like calling it the net, so that's what I call it. And there's a whole bunch of goodies in here, including a health pack in case I get injured, or med kit, various repair kits which I get to keep.
Alright, this one's pretty easy. Should just slide out of her coolant casing with a good yank from your grapple. Try to have your extraction fully planned out before disconnecting it from the ship.
Alright, so that right there in there is the reactor. Oh, look, another bunny character D. My squeaky. Also get some thruster fuel, and looks like some O2. But again, because it's training, I don't have a timer for the shift, nor an O2 meter. So I'm actually tempted just to salvage every last part of this vessel before hitting the reactor. By hitting, I mean taking it out. By taking it out, I mean removing it, as opposed to, you know, destroying it. So now that I'm fairly certain I have everything on the outside taken care of, I start working on the inside. As I said, I work outside, well, front back after outside in. A whole lot of random chunks in here. Still don't quite know what they're used for. Alright, I should be doing this from the outside. Because I don't want to clip a computer trying to cut the glass free. Alright, so this is a nice chunk of glass, and it goes to the red maw, or the furnace as it's officially called. Yes, I have my own names for everything. Deal with it.
Deposit accepted.
Worth quite a chunk of credits, so I definitely want to make certain I get as much glass in as I can. However, there's always some chunks that just never make it. Alright, now that I have an easy hole through the front of the vessel, just grab all these nice little computers.
Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
So what's that blinking? But I think the lights are going all weird. Just grab this chair because the computer doesn't want to come. Or not. I like how the entire front half of the vessel is probably more massive than this chair, but you know, yanking on the chair and having it get caught on something caused the entire thing to shift. As opposed to ripping the chair in half, I guess I probably shouldn't complain.
Credits transferred.
Unlike, say, getting this computer terminal caught. Come on. You know you want to. Fine, I'll take it out the back way. Which is now not only separated from the vessel, but rather distant from it, too.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Just grab this door control. And this light.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
And this storage bin. And the thing I hate most in one of these vessels, the power junction box, because they have a tendency to electrocute and explode on a whim.
Salvage secured. Account
So that went in,
credit
right?
applied. Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Come on, get out. There we go. Right, I'm fairly certain, I would say I'm fairly certain that's everything, but there's one computer left. Try not to bang it on the way out. And this door console.
Secured. Credits deposited.
Right, and now that that's everything, with the exception of these random red lights that I just don't bother with because they're too damn small to, well, they're too darn small to worry about, at least in my opinion. So on that note, this side goes over here. This side goes over here.
Credits awarded.
Take off these lights.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
And then send the rest of the cockpit, or the
Tether supplies are low.
head as I've been known to call it, off in this direction, because while it is a combination of aluminum and nanocarbon, there's generally more nanocarbon than aluminum, and the nanocarbon and I think even titanium bits go to the processor, and they're usually worth more than the aluminum, so
Credits deposited.
I've yet to find a way to easily separate the remaining glass and aluminum from the nanocarbon, so I don't get to keep everything. Alright, and then I cut off these sides. Being very careful about that fuel tank at the back end. I do mean very careful about the fuel tank. And this power cell. Just grab this light.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I mean, I know I can use these tether for these side chunks, but tethers are expensive, and I only get 10.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
And we hit salvage goal 1.
Credits awarded.
Which means the variable costs for the salvage, as far as I'm concerned, are covered. Grab this thing right now.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
And grab this fuel tank. As far as I know, there still aren't any fuel lines left, so, well, yet. So I shouldn't need to worry about cutting off the fuel
Salvage
supply.
secured. Account credit applied.
Just grab this hard crate because it's just floating about.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
This bag of chips. Sadly, we don't get to keep the snacks. And
Take out this data bank.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Take out the storage bin.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
There are a lot of very small chunks, and I don't like it when ships have very small chunks.
Salvage secured.
Because they take forever.
Credits deposited.
Alright, I guess the good thing it wasn't traveling all that fast, because that hit the helmet, and massive things traveling all that fast when they hit the helmet not only break the object, but also damage the helmet.
Account credit applied.
And like I said, I'm in a zero atmosphere environment, and so the only thing keeping the character alive and oxygen flowing is both the pressure suit and the helmet. So if one of those two go,
Credits transferred.
the character's going to have quite a problem. Well, at least in the short term. Eventually, after the short term, he's dead anyway, so it don't matter. Anyway.
Salvage secured.
Now we cut off these things. I'm guessing, much like the other side, there's another fuel tank in there. Dang, this thing off. Send the airlock to the net.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Then we keep cutting.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Alright, I'm assuming that fuel tank is in there. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Alright, now that all the sides are gone and everything is out from the inside except the reactor core. Now we cut off the floor and the ceiling of the main area. Go up. Hopefully that hits the sides of the blue maw. I mean, it looks like it's going in.
Processing valuable
Yeah, it's
objects.
in. Okay, cool.
Credits awarded.
Snag this. It's a soft grade. I'm gonna say snag this repair kit, but no, it's a soft grade. My mistake. That goes to the net.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright, and we've reached salvage goal 2, which means all the fixed costs, as far as I'm concerned, are covered. Which means everything from here on out is just profit.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Just cut off the door. Door goes to the barge.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
From around the door, however, goes to the processor, if memory serves. Just cut this off here. Cut this off here. Grab this thing before I forget about it.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Alright, so this ceiling panel's different. It's flagged as being made out of aluminum as opposed to nanocarbon. So this panel doesn't actually go to the blue maw, it goes to the red one, and I gotta remember that. Occasionally there's one or two hull panels that don't go where all the others go. So always gotta be made aware of that, otherwise you can lose an entire panel's worth of stuff.
Credits deposited.
Yeah, see, now there was still 924 kilograms worth of nanocarbon there, but it was like several thousand units kilograms of aluminum, so the aluminum, while nanocarbon kilogram for kilogram is more expensive than aluminum, that much aluminum is worth more than that little amount of nanocarbon. Alright, another repair kit and a whole lot more O2. Just grab this. There's even a thruster back here that I gotta keep track of. So now all that's left is the thruster and the reactor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the floor here. Push this out of the way with my head. Send this to the blue maw, hopefully. Yeah, that's it.
Accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Right. Hit this thing to eject the thruster, so that way I don't have an issue removing it. Oh, there's an antenna back here. I did not realize. I wondered if there was going to be one. The one on the other side? No. No, there isn't. Okay. Then we cut off the thruster cap. I mean, it could take the thruster out the other way. Just cut across the crossbar and pull it that way, but this I'm more familiar with and it's easier. So this is the thruster. Doesn't look like a thruster, but it's a thruster. Send that down to the net.
Salvage secured.
Alright, so all that's left is the back part, the frame, a couple door controls, a couple doors, and the reactor core. So the one thing I'm supposed to be salvaging this entire time, I haven't actually gotten around to it yet,
Grab this light first. Just simply because the reactor is one of the last things I generally salvage on these vessels. Plus, again, tutorial, basically I get free O2 for this, so I might as well milk it for as much as I can. But Class 1 reactors are relatively easy to get out, or at least they would be had the entire frame not shifted. But it's basically cut off the floor and then tether it to the net and back away, in case you know it explodes. There it goes, that's the reactor, and it's in.
Congrats, cousin. You're certainly picking this up faster than I did back in the day. Okay, I'll leave you to it until you get to the next rank.
Right, and now with the reactor out of the way, training's technically over, so now I have a timer of 15 minutes for this shift, as well as I gotta keep track of my thruster fuel and O2 supply, which is the main reason why I didn't want to handle the reactor off at the very beginning. Because now all I have left to do is take care of this forward piece, the roofing piece, this back chunk, which I shall tether to here. Can I yank this? No. Now, I don't really need all this O2 and fuel and all that fun stuff, but it's basically use it or lose it, so I'm just gonna grab everything. Right, did you go in? Am I even looking at the right one? Haven't gone in yet. Okay. You're heading there, though.
Valuable object processed.
There we go.
Deposited.
Alright, now I hope that I don't actually take any damage because all the medkits are now collected. Same with running out of thruster fuel or O2. Although thruster fuel and O2 I can buy. But basically, I just cut the frame in half. Apparently I already hit that one. That was a new sounding sound. And send half to one more. And hope it doesn't hit the storm break. And send the other half to the other maw.
Material deposited.
Alright, that's in. I lost a couple doors, but you know, they're not nearly as expensive as the aluminum, and I have yet to find an easy way to remove those doors without cutting through the aluminum and probably damaging the doors. But I'm out of tethers, and this chunk of frame is about to go in. There we go.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Alright, and the yellow line has met the red line, which means for all intents and purposes, this ship is now gone. So if anybody asks, I managed to salvage the Debonair Lloyd cruiser in one shift. Yeah, right. With even 10 minutes, over 10 minutes to spare. Not because I don't think it replaces tethers between shifts anymore. Just gonna top off on tethers. I think it replaces the O2, if not thruster fuel. So, I should be good there. If not, I can always just buy more next shift. And, well, that's it for that ship. Alright, so I managed to salvage 96.8% of the vessel. I destroyed 3.2% of the vessel because stuff was connected to other stuff that I wanted more of. And there was 0.0% remaining, which amounted to 112 credits worth. I am not digging around for 112 credits worth while timed and having to worry about O2 because it's not worth that cost. But anyway, all this stuff got destroyed because it was attached to something else that I didn't care for, and why does the food pack get destroyed? I thought they'd just get sent to the furnace. Oh well, moot point. I also lost one door console and 27 kilograms of door. But I managed to salvage all of this. Including the Class 1 reactor, which, while isn't as expensive as it used to be, it's still one of the most expensive things on the ship. Yeah, I mean, the power cell's less than 100,000. Power junction box, 34,500. Now, all 5 storage bins net 120,000. Feeder terminals were that much. 2 nacelles were 75,000 apiece. There is... No, I think that's all the key parts I want to look at. Oh, the thruster. Our thruster was 135,000. So reactor is still the most expensive thing on the vessel, and I earned that many mastery points. And because I did it all in one shift, the entire
Good morning, Cutter. It's time to begin your workday.
Goes against 1 day's worth of expenses, which are all of these, including interest on the debt, bay leasing, tool leasing, haber leasing, utilities, and all that fun stuff. Which amounts to about a daily amount of 524,681.87 credits, and I salvaged the entire mackerel for 2.5 million and change. So definitely made the day's expenses.
Hey again, Rook. Just wanted to say, I'm impressed with how quick you're picking things up. Not sure what kind of work you've done before, but you're a natural cutter. You probably noticed Lynx doesn't exactly take great care of us. I don't blame them. They don't really have a reason to. Up until about 100 years ago, workers like us would make groups called unions and fight for better wages and safer work and decent hours, that kind of thing. Basically balance things so people don't just get exploited to hell. Lynx was actually key in getting rid of all that. But there's a group of shipbreakers now trying to bring back the idea of a union. Change things for the better. Did you know that Lynx keeps your DNA even if you leave? Or that those hull panels you get 10 credits for are resold for 1,000 apiece? That's the kind of thing they want to change. Anyway, it's all hush-hush, of course, and Lynx sums it out right quick. But I see that you're a good person and a hard worker, and they're gonna use you up and you'll get naught for it. So I hope you don't mind, but I signed you up for the union newsletter. Comes every couple of days. Read them, don't read them, trash them, whatever. Just please don't report me. Just want you to have the info. I was glad someone gave it to me when I was new.
Alright, so apparently they're trying to form a union, and much like modern day corporate speak, unions are evil. They're not evil, truly, but a lot of, let's just say, corporate overlords don't really like them. So that's a pressurization memo that I already read. And then sender undisclosed, unverified welcome for authorized members only. Thank you for signing up for the Salvage Workers Unite newsletter. We're happy you're here. As our group grows, so does the ability to affect positive change for all shipbreakers. As a reminder, the activities of this group are for only authorized members. Please respect the mission and privacy of your fellow members, and do not share outside the group. We wish to improve work conditions and ensure that the voices of shipbreakers are heard and respected. We intend to coordinate with the Stellar Commission to start negotiations with the company around policy changes. Here are key demands we intend to bring forward. Number 1, cancel the debt. Not going to happen.
Dangerous work with Shipbreaker should not come with a crippling debt owed to the company that profits off that work. We demand that the debt be canceled immediately. Workplace safety. While shipbreaking is a dangerous task, there are unnecessary risks involved due to company policies or quotas. We demand improvements that would greatly decrease the risk of injury or death. Oh, they'll just say, oh, we can grow new ones, so it doesn't matter. Investigate contract clauses. We demand the Shipbreaker contract be audited by the Stellar Commission to ensure human rights are honored, in particular the clauses around ownership of the genetic sequences of shipbreakers. Thank you for, again, joining us. Solidarity is strength, and we're on the path to improve all of our lives. They're going to get slaughtered. Salvage workers unite. And then there's also Lou again. Just wanted to say I'm impressed how quickly you're picking things up. Not sure what kind of work you've done before, but you're a natural cutter. And I think this is just basically the very stuff that she said before, with some slight changes. But it's basically saying that she signed us up for the union newsletter. Because that's definitely not going to come back and bite us in the various regions. Alright, so I had hoped to get to a javelin today, or at the very least, after reading the fact that pressurization is going to be an issue, deal with a pressurized vessel. However, they didn't realize that, I mean, I can keep continuing to salvage the training vessel I had just basically dissected, and there's nothing left of, or I can just view a new ship. So this is the newest ship grade 4. Oh, nope. Not want to claim the vessel. Keep thinking that's wrong. So, I mean, there's a couple of javelins here, as well as a station hopper and an exolab mackerel. And the javelins are around 5.6 million, whereas the mackerels are 3.8 and 2.6 and 3.8 respectively. Don't know if any of these have pressurized cabins or not, but I would assume that they would. But as I was just saying, while I did have an entire shift to take apart an entire mackerel, it took longer than expected because I completely forgot that I still had reactor training to go through, so I took apart a mackerel there. But as I said, I had hoped to deal with the javelin, and unfortunately, I no longer have the time to do so, because unlike mackerels, which can be taken apart in about 2 shifts, the javelins are a little bit more complex. So they are going to have to be saved until next time, because I'm going to call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.